ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring the Water Resources Board meeting on for Tuesday, October 28th. Michelle, do we have any public comments today? None? All right. Next, our consent agenda is 7 items. Does anybody wish to discuss any of those individually?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Sir.
We got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3 are the minutes from September 23rd, 2025. Does anybody have any additions or corrections to the minutes of September 23rd, 2025? If there are no additions or corrections, we'll accept the minutes as presented. Page 79 is item number 4, considering our cleaning services contract.
All right. We've been using Culp cleaning for several years. They've done a very, very good job, but it was time to put it out to bid, and American Facility Services had the low bid, and so we need y'all's approval for the to propose to City Council approval for the contract. It's a 1-year contract with 2 years can be added, I think, a 4% increase. I'll just say Culp's done a great job, so this company has some big shoes to fill. But they already do services for a couple of city facilities, and their references were really, really good. So we're actually meeting with them later this week and hope to have the contract become effective December 1.
Yeah, you're right. There's some kind of, be a big disparity in some of these companies in the job they do. For sure.
I think it may be the last cleaners we had, they did not perform up to par. And so we terminated the contract, and Culp was the next highest bidder, who they had been our cleaner before. So they came in and fulfilled the contract.
Yeah.
If in the term that we find that you all recommend this, and I do too, but what about if something like that happens again, that they don't perform? Is it in the contract where we can let them go
Yes.
and then we have to start the bidding all over again?
Generally, we go to the next bidder and
Yeah.
see if they're still will honor their bid. I think Culp was number 7,
Yeah.
maybe 7 on the list out of 10 or 11 bidders.
What was their
So
bid?
theirs was in the
goodness.
90s, I think, wasn't it? You remember?
Yes,
Was it in the
93.
90s? Yeah, low 90s.
Ooh, it's the-
But again, this company's got good references, and they already do a couple of city facilities, so we trust that they'll do a good job for us.
And we just use one year at a time. We don't do like a,
It's a 1 year with 2 automatic renewals, basically, just by both parties.
And they just do a percentage on the
Right,
other two.
right.
all right?
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the Barracuda Data Backup System Annual Support. Doug, you on this one?
Yep,
too?
yes, sir. Again, I think we started Barracuda back in like 2014, and it's hardware and software. They do both on-site backup and cloud backup. And I think 3 years ago, we had to buy a larger device because of all the data we had to back up. And at that time, we got a 3-year support, and it's now time to renew support for a year at a time. So, you know, it's $50,000 is kind of expensive, but the thought of not having good backups, both on site and in the cloud, is very scary. So, it's one of those cost of doing business kind of things. And it works really well. As I think I noted in the memo, we have like 44 terabytes or over 40 terabytes of data that we back up in a total of 55 servers, both physical servers and virtual servers.
We had a cyber attack a couple of years ago, didn't we? We probably had to go back and do some.
We had one where they defaced our home page for our online
Oh, yeah,
payments, and
didn't
that's the only
get it.
thing they got was changing the home screen, thank goodness. But,
So we didn't
yeah,
have to get into the backups.
no. And if you've seen, Laverne recently got hit, I guess probably a little over a week ago. I think they just opened up their offices back yesterday, so they were closed all the last week. So having backups is important.
We have enough room for growing storage, right?
Yes, ma'am.
No other comments, I move for approval.
All right, got a motion approved.
Second.
Got a second? Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Doug, you're on a roll. We got the.
I'm a roll. I'm
Dell
spending some money.
VXL servers. Huh?
Yes, these are our primary servers for
Hello.
both production and disaster recovery. We have set some servers but our production servers are at the police department, and our backup disaster recovery is at City Hall. The cost has gone up exponentially in the last 6 years, but there was about a year ago, Dell sold part of their software support for vSphere to a company named Broadcom, and then immediately, like a lot of times in corporate world, Broadcom started kind of being a little bit more difficult to deal with and getting support. So we got to a situation where we couldn't get support for the hardware and software to try to continue it. And it's 6 years old, so it's kind of at that point for servers now. So we're greatly increasing the capacity of these servers to handle us for years to come. And we did budget, I believe, $750,000, so we're well within what we budgeted.
The present one, you said, has lasted 6 years. Would you
Yes.
put that same life expectancy on this new one, or?
Yes, oh, yes, yeah.
Move for approval.
Got a motion to approve?
Second.
Got a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the task order amendment number 1 for the isolation valve. Alan, you gonna do this?
Yes, sir. So the task order there, that the isolation valves is the 24-inch valve and 36-inch valve at the plant, right out of the side of the clear well. And that's before it goes into the distribution system. And you guys have already approved that, but we're asking for a change for SSR. During the design, it was originally estimated to be a 24-week design period, wound up because of the complexity taking 38 weeks to complete. Also, TDEC, we're all familiar with how TDEC can be slow at times. It was budgeted around 40 days to get this approved, and has actually taken, required 97 days to get it approved. And then the actual construction itself is going to take a little bit longer due to the complexity, so from a 26 to a 36 week. So with that, this is just strictly for SSR. The original task order was $65,350, and the amendment 1 is $14,300. And so the total task order, if everything goes as planned, and it should, is $79,650, and we ask for your approval on that.
All right, coming from reserves.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So the additional is the $14,300.
So this is just for SSR, you expect?
This is just for
construction-
SSR, yeah. The next one we do is actually for the contractor for the changes there, yes, sir.
Who is the contractor?
It's a CVC, Cumberland Valley Contractors, so they're the ones that's actually doing the work. It is a pretty complex project because they're going to have to keep the 24-inch line in service. So we can't shut these things down more than 6 to 8 hours, and we have to get it back online. So only the 24-inch line is going to be in service during this construction piece. And what they're going to do is they're going to cut out the 24 and the 36-inch line, pick it up, set it down, set in new ones, hook it back up, and put valve boxes, the valve vaults in there, so that we can access the valves in the future, so that we don't have to dig everything back up. The digging has cost quite a bit of money for the department, so this will prevent that in the future. If we need to do it, bring a crane in, pick the thing up, and do whatever we need to do. So it'll be a lot quicker in that aspect.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve?
Second.
Got a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're going to do the page, the ninth item, the easement offers for Thompson Lane?
No, we'll need to back up to item 8 on
I'm
the,
sorry.
yeah, on the isolation
I
valves.
got this
the
thing just
change
so I
order.
wouldn't screw up.
Okay, so this is for CBC here. So this is some of the changes that had to take place in order for them to be able to get some of the work done that was not identified until after the fact there. And that is to allow us not only to keep the 24 in service, but also to do the 36 because the water plant processed water is off of it. So basically what we're doing here, there's $25,000 in the contingency. We don't see any other changes that are going to have to take place, so we deducted that first. And then the rest of the change is going to be that change order number 1 add down there, 35,000. So it takes us from a total of 633 up to 668,360 for the total part of the contract. And this is, like I said, strictly for CBC.
In order to keep it in service, they are installing what's
line
called a
stop.
line stop in the 36 inch.
In the 36, yeah. They already had one in the 24, but the way it was being cut out, the 36 would not have been active, which meant that the processed water for the plant would not have been available for us to use. And so we need to keep that active.
What size pipe is that?
Well, that's really not a picture of the project itself because they haven't gotten that far along. But bottom line, that's basically what it's going to look like. They're going to have a 36-inch line. They're going to set a valve vault over, and then there'll be a separate 24-inch line off to the side of that a valve vault will go over.
Okay.
And if we do this, we're not expecting any more change orders.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We don't foresee any other change orders. This should be it. This means it's got everything we need.
All right.
Move on, move
Motion
on.
to do. So got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Who
Now-
seconded?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
Now we go to the easement offers.
Yes. So we brought several, had several counter offers the last couple of months. And we have received some more, although our counter offers are slowly dwindling away as far as counter offers for easements on the Thompson Lane project. Our previous easements that we offer amounts was $883,734. For this month, we've received counter offers from 5 properties. That total $35,737. So this brings our new easement purchase total to $919,050.
And how many outstanding? 50 more?
Plus or minus, somewhere in the neighborhood of 50. We had right at 100. So we're somewhat halfway there.
I mean, what can you do?
Yes, there's not really, we have to do, the TDOT is moving forward with the project. Now, they have moved the letting where they're not gonna open bids in December any longer. They've moved it to February?
February, yeah.
Yeah, February.
Yeah.
And they may move it again. They've asked us for updates on where we are with our easements and how much longer it's gonna take us. We've kind of drafted.
It wouldn't take us long to be sure.
Right.
We agree.
Exactly. We've actually, and this kind of gets into the next one, but I'll go ahead since it's kind of all the same project. We've received counter offers, obviously, but for those that we don't, we are legal, through our legal department, legal has split up the 50, well, actually, let me back up. There's 50 that we need. We met, George and I and our engineer met with TDOT last week, and we asked it if you would bring up GIS. We asked if they would allow us for about a 4,300 foot section of Thompson Lane, if they would allow us to put our sewer main in the roadway and in the north travel lane, somewhere between, let me see if I can get this dot to work. So, let's see, this is Caroline Farms, this is General's Landing, and this is, County Subdivision, and then Kings Ridge. So that's frozen. Between Kings Ridge, along this stretch of Thompson Lane, all the way to where our VA pump station, force main, dumps into our gravity sewer main here, we asked TDOT last week if they would allow us to put that section in the roadway, which would save us 17 easements. So for the first round of appraisals, which is shown in this memo, legal went with the 33 properties remaining minus the 17 and got a proposal from 3 different firms to do appraisals. One was commercial, had the best price for commercial. Another had the best price for residential. And to try and get these back quickly within a 60-day turnaround, they hired a third to do a portion of it. And so we were moving in that direction, and we had asked ELI, who is our engineer, to give us a proposal on redesigning the sewer and the road. So fast forward to, I guess, the end of last week, TDOT came back and said persons that we met with TDOT went to their supervisors and told them that what they had agreed to, and the supervisors said no, they cannot be in the road. So we are still, today we're requesting approval for the appraisal costs for all 50. However, we want to continue to work with TDOT to try and see if we can get them to leave that 4,300-foot section and move it into the roadway where we don't have an additional 17 appraisals and offers to get, and possibly 17 more condemnations for the easements. Moving it into the road will straighten out our alignment, so it would reduce our construction costs. It would reduce our, obviously, easement costs. It would reduce our condemnations because I know one, Caroline Farms, Caroline Farms developer actually negotiated with TDOT to where TDOT changed their design where they wouldn't have to condemn the Caroline Farms sign, monument sign. Well, our sewer, because it's in the right-of-way, outside the roadway, is going to get into their sign. So we would have to condemn them and take down their monument sign, their landscaping berm, and their fencing. So when we condemn all of that, not only the easement's going to be taken into account, but all the replacement of their sign, fencing, landscaping berm. So I want to move forward again in asking TDOT to allow us to have that section in the roadway and it will also, but they don't care about costs. They only care about the timeline and how much longer it would take us to get the 17 easements. And so we're putting together a response with legal back to TDOT to give them a timeline of how much longer, and we feel like having to condemn or get 17 more appraisals and easements would take us an additional 2 months over the 33. So all that to say, we can go back to the revised easement offers for the property owners that have agreed or that agreed to the easement but would like a little more money based on what TDOT has offered them.
If we don't have all our easements put to bed, will they start the project or is it on hold
We think they have talked about postponing it further
until we get finished?
until we get finished. And they've mentioned 2 to 3 lettings, which I'm not sure what that means, if that's 2 to 3 months.
I'm not sure what a letting is to them.
Yeah.
But
Sounds like a medieval term.
it might be.
So unfortunately, we're at their mercy. The project is ready to move forward. Atlas, they are still condemning for some easements, and I think Middle Tennessee Electric still has some easements to obtain. I don't know that they have as many as we have.
So we want to approve this counter offer of $35,737.
Yes, that would be the first item.
Okay,
I make a motion to approve.
got a motion? Have a second? Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now we have two items in front of you. We discussed one already, I guess.
Yeah, and we'll need to,
We still need to approve it.
yes, approve. And so the request is approval for
This is the Thompson Lighting.
Yes.
Appraisal cost.
Yes, appraisal costs. So the request is to approve for us to get all 50 properties appraised. And we think on the high end of what that appraisal cost would be $200,750 for all 50. And then we would make offers to the property owners based on the new appraisals using the federal guidelines, which is, excuse me, 50, kind of what we're doing now. It was 50% for a permanent easement. It was 20%, which is actually 10% for temporary easement, times 2 for 2 years. And then it gives legal some wiggle room on 10% on top of that if we don't have to go condemn the property, which is that, so that's the federal guidelines. And then if the property owner doesn't agree there, approval for legal to move forward with condemning for the easement. And then, you know, naturally, if we can come back and keep you all apprised of what the new easement offers would be, based on those appraisals.
So you want a motion for $200,750?
Yes.
Contingent on TDOT and
Yep,
the appraisals?
contingent on TDOT not allowing us to be in the roadway. And then, so you can make a motion to recommend this, you know, go with the staff recommendation.
For the 50 properties.
So I'll move that we go with staff recommendation for the 50 properties.
Yes. I second.
Got a motion and a second? Any other discussion?
Question, do we think of the 50, if there are some that are just not going to accept the offer?
Yes.
And it's just because of personally they just don't want to give up their land, or is it?
I think some of it has to do with the land, because in that area of where we're trying to get into the road, there are some houses that are very close to the road. And so the temporary construction easement basically kind of wraps around the house. So we're that close to the home. So some will just, you know, don't want it there. And then there's some that just want the additional money. Feel like that their property is worth more than what.
Mark Earl's house, I mean, no, I guess he sold it now, but I mean, that'd be right there on top of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of those that towards Memorial, those houses are close to the road there too.
Yeah, John, if you can zoom in where kind of where this red dot is down here at the end, towards the right.
All those houses right there.
Yeah, all those houses are right there on the road. And so you see where the green line is along the roadway. So we're gonna be, you know, right at the edge. So the sewer's not moving far, but it's moving closer to these houses that are right there. Right there at the right of way.
So it's up to the green line, is that our right of way we want?
Yes, that's TDOT's right of way. So some of our easement is what we're asking for permanent outside on the house side of that green line. And then we're also asking for some temporary
We gotta
construction.
go up closer to that
Yes,
for the permit. Plus the temp.
yes. Temporary goes away at the end of construction.
Breakfast come with the deal?
You know, this project is not as bad as it could be, but we're gonna have to have a real conversation with TDOT about Braidable Pike. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Braidable Pike, but there's a lot of this scenario along Braidable Pike. And right now, we've designed all of the water and sewer mains within the roadway. You know, it's one thing to have a sewer main in front of your house. This one's not gonna be very deep. But on Braidable, we have deep sewer and a large water line. And that's the last thing I wanna do is try and install a deep sewer main
Are
right
they
at
gonna
somebody's
redo
front
that
door.
road too? Is that road on tap to be redone?
It is, they took it off. Right now, it doesn't have funding. I talked to Transportation, Jim Kerr, with the city, and he said we won't know if it's officially gonna be put back on TDOT's list until April.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries. Next item is an addition to our agenda from the WRF wet weather upgrades, change control form number 4.
Yes, as you know, the wet weather project was approved a while back. That construction is well underway. During the course of this construction, the workers found some cracks in the concrete walls out there, and those cracks are of a nature that need to be repaired so that they don't spread, grow, and cause us problems in the future. And so this is outside the original scope of the work, so we're asking for $37,000, about $700 to perform these repairs, and that should take care of that situation for the future. And you see that the original contingency allowance was $300,000. This will give us a remaining balance of $65,000. And we ask for your approval on this.
Close to finishing?
We still have a ways to go. So it's, but we're hopeful that that $65,000 will last. We ask for your approval to recommend this to the council.
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Now, Doug, you gonna talk to us about the utility training?
Yeah, give you a little update on that. John, if you would, let me have that HDMI cable and I'll plug into mine and get on that. Good cable. So just want to show, I'm going to show you the website. Basically, as the memo says, they have changed. They kind of lessened the amount of required training from 4 hours per year to 2 hours per year. It's still over a 3-year period, so it's 6 hours over 3 years, but they do ask that board members get 2 hours a year, just to where you're always getting some. So I'm going to go to the website, and I've got the search here, but if you search Tennessee Comptroller Utility Training, it'll take you to this website, which I will send out the links for all of this. And click on here and you'll see the training is here. Now, if you don't have an account, you have to register. So hopefully everybody's got an account with the comptroller. And once you register, you just have to sign in, and then it'll show all the classes that are available. Right now, there's 18 classes they have available. Most of them are 1 hour, some are part 1, part 2. So it's easy to get the credit for that. One of the other things I think was in the board packet was a form that they now require a form be filled out every year where you list the training that you took. And that form will go to Michelle. Michelle hasn't thanked me yet for being the point of contact in my memo, but I'm sure she will.
Thank you,
Yes.
Don.
Oh, yeah.
Just looking at different cards.
So basically, we'll be reaching back out to y'all between now and probably early December just to talk about the form and make sure you get it filed in time. You know, they have punishments that if you don't meet the training requirements, you can be put on double secret probation. You technically could be removed from the board. I mean, so the comptroller's pretty tough about this training stuff, but we want to just make sure y'all got the information you need, we get the forms that we need. We don't actually file it with the comptroller, but we have to keep it on file with us in case it's ever requested by the comptroller for any reason. So I will send out to the whole
Once we
board.
finish a section, is there a certificate that we send to you?
I think it produces a certificate after you take a class that says you completed it. You can send us the certificate, wouldn't probably hurt to have that in addition to the form that they have online.
Okay.
They have a little, annual training statement, and I think this was in the board packet. But you can see here, it's a little statement, first and last name, filing year, name of utility, shows the classes you took. So,
And the sponsor is you?
the sponsor, I think, will probably be the comptroller. If you take those classes online, it'll be the comptroller. They will allow other classes, but it's really kind of painful. It's like, you have to send them information up front. I tried to get the utility management conference approved, and it was unbelievable, the steps they had to go through. I tried to get AWWA to send in the information. You got to send in something for every class. So if the conference has 20 classes you could go to, you have to apply for each class through the state, which is a little onerous, but they have enough now online that you don't have to go anywhere to get easily the 2 hours per year. So, like I said, we'll be back in touch. I'll send information.
You would think since we have to sign into the account and they know if we took the classes, we get the certificate that there's, we don't have to sign.
Well, it is government.
So what actually satisfies the comptroller? Is it this form? Or
Yeah,
is it?
actually, it's a trust system to some extent. I mean, and they should know anybody that logged in and looked at any class. So they can look at it from their end, I'm sure. But they just want us to have the form filed and completed by the end of each calendar year, or by the end of January, I think, to show that each board member's taken the necessary 2 hours each year, or 6 hours per 3 years. But that was it on that.
Is the login, and is that fairly new, or, I mean, how new is that? I don't remember signing in, but I'm sure I have.
I think it's been
Around for a while?
I think so, but I'm not
You're gonna
sure.
send us a link.
Yeah, and I'll find out some more information and send y'all information on it.
All right. Anything in the dashboard to bring to our attention?
As far as this CIP, did not make any changes this month.
We do, December the 9th at the next meeting, we will have Joe Hastings there to present the draft audit. And from there, after that is when we get the new unrestricted fund balances, when we update all the CIP numbers and get everything caught up and current.
So we would present that new at the January meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
So our total CIP, is it around 300 million? Am I adding that right?
And so, I think that, yeah, with debt, you're just adding the debt,
Working capital, rates,
yeah.
and debt service. All right. Anything else to be brought before the board? No other items, we'll stand adjourned. Thank y'all.
Thank you.